Hey guys, my name is Sharp, and you don't see me very often. I got a camera, and it's kind of nice, right? Look at that! I can see myself, that's why I'm looking at that. You'll notice that the lighting is sort of even, but not really. That's because I'm just using my computer for natural light, because if I try to be smart and use like Notepad for light, everything blends in, because I both have glasses and I am blisteringly white. Like here, I'll show you. So, there are two things that I wanted to talk about today. One of them was about a game, and the other one was also about games, because we run a gaming channel. That's sort of what we do here. I haven't talked to a camera in a while. This is weird. I've been wanting to talk about them for a little bit, and I figured they would be too short to put into just one video each, so I'm just gonna do both of them in their own video, or in a video. You get the point. The first thing I wanted to talk about is WB apologized, sort of. Batman Arkham Knight for PC was awful, at least for some people. For me, I tolerated it, mostly because I got it for like $25 very shortly after it launched. And the biggest issue that people seem to be having was the game was capped at 30 frames per second, when for a PC game, especially of that caliber, that shouldn't be a thing. What I want to point out is this was not Rocksteady's fault. A lot of people were like, oh, I want to boycott Rocksteady. Not their fault. It was WB's fault, and they rushed people that have never made a PC game before to make a PC game, or port a PC game, and they only gave them 6 weeks to do it. And it was a mess, and it should not have been handled the way that it was handled. After the atrocity was released, everyone was like, oh my god, what is this? Oh my, this is awful. And it was pulled from the shelves, at least on Steam. It was pulled from the Steam store for months, until I believe like November. And if you purchased the game before it was put back on the store, you were given all of the previous Batman games. The issue with this is that the Batman Arkham series is a very heavily story-based series. It's not so heavy to the point to where you can't play the games on their own, but to the point to you should, and most people have, played the previous games before playing Arkham Knight. So 90% of people that owned Arkham Knight before November already owned all of the Batman games. So most people probably don't even know that this was a thing. Not only were we given these games, but as far as I know, WB didn't really say anything. They just sort of put them in everyone's Steam account. Now, I found this out because I was going through my games with a friend for some reason, and I found Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate. This is a game that I had my eye on for a little bit, but I never bothered to pick up because it didn't have very good reviews. Batman Arkham Origins was also in my library. Now this is weird because I purposefully, I don't know how to say that word, didn't buy Origins on PC because it was awful, and everyone pretty much ignores it. Like, even the developers call it the Arkham Trilogy, even though there's technically 5 games, but 4 of them are canon, and they don't even talk about Origins because it wasn't good. I bought it. In fact, I pre-ordered it for Xbox, and I very much disliked it, and I have a copy of it somewhere back there for PS3 that has coffee stains on it because I used it as a coaster. I did some Googling, and apparently WB just this was their apology, which is definitely appreciated because developers don't just go around giving people free games. Actually, they do. You get my point. So it's appreciated, but the gesture is rather redundant. I will add that they gave everyone all of the DLC for at least Origins, so I'll have to play with that. I'll do a video on that later. But yeah, that was a thing. So thank you, WB. I guess. Next thing. The next thing I wanted to talk about was why I'm waiting to play Undertale. Undertale is a game that I played probably 20 minutes of on a friend's account. I shared games with a friend, and they had Undertale, so I played it for 20 minutes and was like, oh, this is alright. And then I bought it in the recent Steam Winter Sale, which I will be doing a Steam Winter Sale haul video, because I feel like that'd be kind of fun to do. But I decided to wait to play the game. I don't want to say because of the fan base, but because of the way that the game is being presented to me. I'd always seen Undertale as a very interesting game, as a very interesting concept, and I played about 40 minutes of it since I bought it, and I think it's very interesting. However, the hype of the game is sort of killing it for me. Everyone is sort of like, I would let Undertale kill my family, and it's like, it's a good game. It's a very, very good game, but it's not the best game in the world. It's not that good. And I think Undertale is being presented to me the way Five Nights at Freddy's is being presented to me, and I waited a good long time to play Five Nights at Freddy's. You know, everyone was like, oh, you gotta play it, oh my god, it's the best game ever, and I played it and I was let down because of the hype. It just wasn't, you know, it wasn't a bad game, it's a great game. I very much enjoy at least the first Five Nights at Freddy's. I haven't played any of the other ones, but I very much enjoyed Five Nights at Freddy's. It was just sort of, I didn't enjoy it as much as I think I would have had I waited. So that's why I'm waiting to play Undertale. I'm probably going to play it on the channel in the summer or during spring break, once everyone has moved on to a different game, because right now I feel like it's just sort of too much. Like, everyone's like, oh, that's what happens when you drink Coke while you're filming, kids. Everyone's sort of like, oh, it's the best game ever, and right now, I disagree. But I've only played 40 minutes of the game, and I don't really want to play any more of it until the hype has died down and I'm able to form my own opinion, because I find that, especially in the case of like Fallout 4, because I pre-ordered Fallout 4 like the day before it came out, the hype was so much that my expectations were very, very high, and it was just sort of not fair to the game. Now, this was in the case of Fallout 4 in the way that, like, it was so hyped that it was a great game. I love Fallout 4. It's probably one of my favorite RPGs. However, I don't love it as much as I think I would have had I waited. So that's what I'm going to do with Undertale, only because I want to love the game as much as I think it deserves. That was all I had to say. Thank you all so much for listening to me talk. I want to do this way more often because I don't really like doing face cam. It just wasn't for me. My chair's like very squeaky. Now oh, there it goes. Yep, very squeaky. But yes, thank you all for listening to me ramble for a little bit. I will see you all eventually. It's finals week. It's 10:13 p.m. and I have my Latin final tomorrow, which I'm so prepared to fail. So don't forget to stay sharp.